Alright guys, you're joining us today for the third edition of the EmWrites Tumblcast. You've got me, Sean, hello.
And Steve, I'm Steve. Right, let's get on with it.
EmWrites Tumblcast. So guys, today we've got a pretty special treat. Elizabeth Marshall herself will be joining us later on.
Rolling up in the office.
Oh yes. Just
very special.
Checking up, see what we're doing.
Making sure we're not just frolicking in the woods. Or making sure we're not having a sneaky beer in the office. It's not even like Friday, it's Wednesday.
Right, yeah, anyway. Saw a good film the other night.
Did you? What film did you see?
Bandits.
Bandits is an old one.
It's an old one, oh yeah, it's not a new film.
We're not very current, us two, are we?
Oh no, we're not. It was a brilliant film.
Who was in it?
Bruce Willis, my boy. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep.
And Cate Blanchett.
Good cast.
It is a brilliant cast. A brilliant film.
You've got me. What's it about?
Well, it starts off these two guys, they're stuck in like a prison and they escape, basically. And they go on from there, robbing banks and whatnot. But the brilliant thing about it is that they both fall in love with this girl who they've kidnapped. Or, I don't know, she kind of becomes an accomplice later on. And yeah, but she falls in love with both of them.
Unlikely.
It's unlikely, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a brilliant film. Really good plot twist at the end as well, so give that a look. Oh, look who's come in the office.
Hi, lads.
All right, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How's it going?
Very good. You're all very good, thank you. I see you both working very hard.
Yeah, we are. So the interview, we publicised the interview quite a bit back, based on sending questions in the Ask box on Tumblr. To see if people would respond, and we got a massive response.
All the questions are you guys' questions, so that just says it all, really.
So yeah, thanks for the good response there, guys.
Well then, let's hear them, boys.
Right, well, the first one, do you want to go into it, Steve, or?
Yeah, I'll ask.
First question.
I'm not afraid to ask.
Because there was so many questions, we had to limit them and go into what was sort of a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, we combined a lot of the questions. So right, here we go. Let's not delay any further. Elizabeth, what was the creative inspiration in writing this book?
In a word, Glencoe. About 2 years ago now, I went to Glencoe, and when I stood in the actual village itself, I became totally absorbed really by the events that had destroyed the lives of the people that lived there. My thoughts really went to the people that had survived and how they'd survived and what became of them after the massacre. And really, as I stood there in the village, and it was a cold February morning, I could see this girl. And I saw her in my mind. I watched her as she fled into the mountains. And I watched her in my mind. I watched her die. And I suppose something inside me said, she can't possibly die, she has to live. And then there was a stag with silver horns, and the rest really is history.
Next question, where did you get the idea for the plot?
I think the plot really made itself. The characters make themselves. You start with a basic idea of what it is you want to say, and the characters become people within their own right. They become people that you know as well as your family and friends, really. And the plot develops off the back of the characteristics of the people that you have involved in this plot.
Yeah.
So I think there was no preconceived idea of where this was going. I had a starting point, which of course was Glencoe, and from there on out the characters evolved, and so did the plot. Somebody want to get that then, boys?
No, that's okay. We'll let the machine get that one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's what you pay us for.
Any more questions then?
Yeah, as a matter of fact there is. This was quite interesting, this one. Simon and Corin visit many places, notably the Borders and York. Where did you get the inspiration to write about these places from?
Oh, that's an easy one. York forever will be my magic faraway tree. It's just the sort of place you can go to time after time after time again and never ever tire of it. There's always something new, historically, culturally. It's absolutely fabulous. Really, I didn't go to York with the idea of finding a home for Simon and Corin in Barley Hall. It kind of happened.
Yeah.
I had another idea for where their house was going to be, and Ironically, it was the haunted house, which is just around the corner from Barley Hall. But when I went into Barley Hall, it was absolutely perfect. The place, it couldn't have been more perfect. Of course, then there's the Scottish borders. Well, that's self-explanatory. I live there, and it's no secret that I'm totally in love with the Scottish countryside and Scotland as a country.
It is beautiful.
It is a very beautiful country, and I feel incredibly blessed and lucky to live here. So yeah, that's really it. The characters went to places that I find interesting and that I find beautiful.
Something I noticed two people actually picked up on was in the book you never mentioned the Shambles in York.
Well, that was really quite simply because the Shambles are synonymous with York. The York Minster and Shambles, everybody thinks York, they think those two places.
Yeah.
It's a little bit cliched, it's been done to death, and there are so many jewels in York other than those two places. I mean, they are both wonderful, they are both magnificent and well worth a visit, but Barley Hall, for example, it's totally uncommercial. It's tucked away in a quiet little snickle way. It's sort of this little haven in the middle of a busy city. So, no, why did I not use the Shambles? It was unnecessary.
I suppose also with the Shambles it would have looked just like every other street back then anyway, so
Pretty
it wouldn't
much.
have stood out to Simon and Corin.
Aye, it was a street
in
of
the time you
butchers.
were writing.
It was a street of butchers, and I had no need for a street of butchers in the story.
You know, it sounds a lot to me like this book took your experiences and your imagination and pretty much just wrote itself.
I think you're pretty right there, Steve. I can't argue with that. It's a combination of, and I think any writing is a combination of your passions in life, the things that do it for you, and the things that your mind does with them. And yes, hence we have this book.
Here's something that I've definitely been hassling you about. How many books are you expecting to write in the Highland Secret series? And when are you going to start writing the next one? Because I want to read it. I know it's not written yet, but I want to read it.
Several listeners have asked that. We're all eagerly awaiting.
There will definitely be more books. The first book, from chapter 30 onwards, really you are getting the beginning of the second book.
Yeah, well, you can tell that the writing style definitely changes from there.
It is a different book, and the story is taking a different turn. It starts off, as you know, in Glencoe, and it is a lot more sombre and desperate. But I do think things lighten up a little bit after chapter 30.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is the start of the second book. So how many will there be? That is a secret. Will there be another one soon? I certainly hope so.
Good stuff. There was one particular question that came through most of all, though, and it's one that I'm personally, being a lover of films, wanting to hear. What potential actors in a world where this is a film and not a book, what potential actors would you see playing the characters? I mean, when I read it, I admit I envisioned Angus as Tony Curran.
Yes, that would work.
That was a very strong contender for me.
Didn't you also have Simon as Braveheart?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he is a little bit of a Braveheart, but I think that's rather typical of the male of that.
I think it's a bit too one-dimensional for Simon as well. He's a bit more layered than
William Wallace.
Yeah.
Well, William Wallace was a very layered character. I'm not sure about the man that played him in the movie though.
Ooh.
But moving on.
Let's not go there.
So who would you have play? would you have Clive Owen playing?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I saw Corin as a bit of a Kristen Stewart.
Definitely annoying enough.
Not a lover of Corin, Steve.
It's all about Simon. Simon's where it's at.
No, you've got to have empathy for Corin. You've got to have empathy for the girl. Bless her.
She's annoying.
She might be, but she's a young girl in a frightening world, and she does grow up in the book.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
and towards the end, you see a very different character to the one that you start with.
That's true. Big transformation with that character.
Duncan.
So. Wow.
Rupert Grint. It's got to be. It's got to be Ron Weasley.
It's got to be. Yes, I've got to agree.
Give him long hair. Give him a Scottish accent.
Make him buff.
Make him buff.
Yes, Duncan, he's lovable, he's young, he's a little bit headstrong. I like Duncan as a character. I think There are great things we're going to do with him in the future.
Oh, is that a bit of a teaser campaign there?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's been a lot of questions about your pen name and why you've chosen a pen name, why you chose the alias Elizabeth Marshall. Because just to the listeners who don't know, Elizabeth Marshall is an alias.
It is indeed. Quite simply because my private life stays my private life. Writing is a wonderful thing to do, and I would love to do it forever and a day. But I still want to be able to go home at night and shut the door and be myself.
Yeah.
So, yes, Elizabeth Marshall is the name of the lady that writes these books.
Forever it shall be.
Let's hope so, Steve. And may I just say, you boys do an absolutely fantastic job.
Oh, well, thank you.
Nice to be appreciated.
Yeah, it is very nice to be appreciated.
No, you do. I'm very grateful for everything that you've done.
No worries.
You put up with the diva tantrums and the strops.
That's what we're here for.
It's what you get paid for.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your Tumblcast with me.
Ah, no worries. Probably get wrapping up.
Let's wrap it up now, yeah. That was good. That was a special treat.
Special treat for you guys, so,
May I just say before we do stop?
Yeah.
Can I just mention a book I read
yeah, of course
over the
you can.
weekend?
Yeah, go for it.
And I would just like to mention it because the author, I think, has done an absolutely fabulous job of creating what I think is the perfect self-published book.
Mm-hmm.
Diana Murdoch. The book is called A Game. If you ever get the chance to read it, please do. Well worth the time that you will spend, and to me it is the essence of raw talent.
I'll back you up there. I'm halfway through it myself. It's so uncommercialized. It's heart and soul, passion, personality. It's everything a self-published book promises to be. It's brilliant.
I agree, Steve.
Oh, there you have it, guys.
Well and truly worth reading it. Again, by Diana Murdoch.
Diana Murdoch again. Right, so guys, probably call it a day.
Thank you very much, lads.
No worries. Let's
enjoy your evening. Go and get a beer.
We will.
Although I think there might be one on the table already.
That's unprofessional. Sure.
Unprofessional. I'm sorry.
Written warning.
Well, can't find me. That's enough from Sean
and Steve and our very special guest.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye bye.
EmWrites Tumblcast.